been taking things hard lately. It's been getting to me. It's been getting to me. I'm staying strong for the kids. Look, they're living a normal life. The kids are in school. The kids are happy. But it has not been easy for me, man. It has not been easy. It's been tough. It's been tough. People don't understand that like my situation. I think that's what it is. It's like I was very blessed and fortunate to have both my wife and my mom home with me, because it was a situation that was out of our control. My wife had stage 4 cancer, God bless her. She recently passed away. My mom had COPD, she had pneumonia. She recently passed away, God bless her. But the fortunate situation, that was unfortunate. That was the most unfortunate thing. That broke my heart, that broke my children's heart. We're shot over that. But when they were alive, we were all together as a family every day. Like we were together. My wife was home because I was her caretaker, and my mom was home and I was her caretaker, and we were able to be with each other, which that's a rare thing, like to have both the parents home for the kids. And my wife was always here and I was always there for her, and we were this wonderful family. We had despite all of the health problems and everything we were dealing with my wife and my mom, we were a beautiful family, and we were very happy. We were very happy, very happy. But then when my wife passed away and my mom passed away, everything changed in my life, and it's really scary. They say milk does a body good, right? Salud. This is just my milk. I'm just finishing it up. Yes, I normally use a cup, but it's only a little drop left. I'm finishing it up. You know, I just, yeah, I'm upset. I'm angry. I wish God would talk to me. I wish God, because God, I don't know if you know this. They say God only gives you what you can handle. He gave me too much. This is too much. No, how could anyone handle a situation like this? How you doing? We got England in the house here. This is a very serious live stream. I just want to let you know this is about my beautiful wife passing away. So, and my mother, and this is a very serious live stream. Anyway, God bless you from England. We, I just question God. I question God. I wrote a song. I was the biggest person who prayed every day. I was, I wore my cross every day. I love God. I always say God is good and God is on your side. And I wrote a song. I wrote a song called God is on your side. I mean, because I believe that. I always believed in my heart that God is on your side and God will never give you as more than you could deal with. But he did. Guys, I can't give me number. What does that mean? I don't know. Once again, this is a very serious live stream. All right, we gotta get rid of this guy. My God. I wrote a song called God is on your side. I always believed in God. I always did. Sarah, how you doing? Not the greatest. Not going so well. My wife Jennifer passed away. My mother Josephine passed away. This is all in 2 weeks. My life got hit by the same type of an asteroid. This is how it feels like that they used to take out the dinosaurs. Like, not doing so good. I have questions to God. This is a song I wrote called God is on your side. I always believed that. I always believed that God is on your side, but lately I haven't been feeling that way. But this is the song. Thank you, Sarah. This is a song that I wrote previously. God is on your side. Don't you know that Don't you know that God is on our side? And it's going to be a wild ride. He wants us to win. New lives we begin. You got to believe deep inside your heart. God is watching over us from the start. Never part our side. Thank you, Sarah. Don't you know that God is on our side? The Apefather feels it deep inside. He wants us to win. New lives we begin. Don't you know that God is on our side? And it's going to be a wild ride. He wants us to win. New lives we begin. So that was a song I wrote called God is on Our Side. I always believed that. I just don't understand why he felt that was part of the plan to take my wife and my mother in 2 weeks. My wife Jennifer was only 46 years old. Thank you, Sarah. Only if you're interested. Listen, I know that you're filled with beautiful, beautiful comments. I have a service. It's called the Thank You Song. Okay, this is what it is. For anybody out there who would like to make a very small Cash App, and if you could type out this Cash App for me, Sarah, I'd appreciate it. It's the $ Richard Lavoie. There's no underscore, no space in between my first and my last name. So it's the $ capital RICHARD, capital LEV as in Victor, OI. If you type it out, what I'd like to do is pin the comment. This is my Cash App. If thank you, Sarah. If anybody out there would like to do a small Cash App, could be any amount of money, I will record a video for you. It's called the Thank You Song. It consists of an original jazz blues piano piece that I write for you, celebrating your good deed and celebrating the life of my beautiful wife, Jennifer, and my mother, Josephine. Okay, so the comment is also pinned. God bless you, Sarah. Like, I'll give you an example. This is kind of what the Thank You Song would sound like. I wrote this song. Acceptance is the hardest thing to do. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your kind words, Sarah. God bless you. You're a very nice person. John Doe, thank you. You know, I am so heartbroken right now. I know it seems I'm not because I'm playing the piano and stuff, but I had a tremendous loss. My family, my children had a tremendous loss here, and it's shocking what happened to us, to say the least. To say the least, it is so shocking. Um, it's one thing when you lose someone that's so important to you. We we've all probably experienced this in our lives at some point where you lose someone that is so dear to your heart, that is so important to you. But it's another thing when you lose back-to-back loved ones. That is insane. You know, one loss is tremendous. Back-to-back losses is really, really hard. And it's just I can't find the words, you know. I can't find the words. My wife Jennifer was a type of a woman, let's just talk about her, who was so amazing. She gave 100% of her life for her family. So you can't find that again. It's This is the person who loved her children with all her heart, all her soul, who loved her husband with all her heart, all her soul. She gave everything, all of her love, everything to us. And my mom loved us too. She loved us with all her heart, all her soul. The problem was, I'm going to try to go over this step by step. So you had a situation where two people in my life got unfortunately sick. One, I gotta say, it was no fault. It was my wife's no fault. It was no fault of my wife. You lost your husband. It's been almost 18 years. I'm so sorry, Sarah. God bless you. God bless your husband. God bless your family. I know it's been 18 years, but still, my condolences and God bless you. God bless your family. No time is enough time, when you lose your loved one and you lose your husband. Um, I know because I lost my wife. Um, you know, Jennifer, she didn't have the cancer gene. She worked during 9/11. She worked during the World Trade Center, the attacks. And the toxins in the air caused her to get breast cancer. This poor girl did not have cancer. She did not have cancer. She was a healthy girl. She contracted breast cancer of no fault of her own, as well as so many families, so many innocent people who went to work that day on 9/11. So many thousands and thousands of people lost their lives for no reason. They lost their lives. So many families have been affected. My family has been affected. My heart goes out to everyone. Uh, you know, Despite Jennifer getting cancer, she had it for 10 years. She was diagnosed with it. I mean, I know, Sarah, but I'm having a hard time, and I'm going to try to explain to you why. You know, my wife never showed she had cancer. She was diagnosed in 2015. It turned into stage 4 in 2017. Now, granted, we had a scare in 2017 when when it started to spread and it became stage 4 and it went to her liver and she went into septic shock. That was a very scary situation. But that was the first miraculous thing my wife did. They gave her the chemo. It took the cancer off of her liver. She recovered from the septic shock that she was in, and she was 100% back to normal. At that same time, her mother passed away, Linda, from acute leukemia. We actually always believed, me and my wife, that her mother saved her. Her mother said, take me, save my daughter, give my daughter more time, because my wife made a miraculous recovery. I don't know. Maybe she only was able to save my wife for 8 years. I don't know. 2025, that's when my wife passed away. Just recently this year. So I don't know what dude means retro life, but it's a very serious live stream talking about the passing of my wife and my mom, Josephine, all in this year. This happened this year. Okay, see, when people say sorry for the loss, marry again, move on. Let's just get rid of this guy. We gotta get rid of people like this, people who are haters. Sarah, she was a soldier. My wife, she was she fought so hard, and that's why I'm upset at God in a way because look, I feel God could have helped her a little bit. Like she's fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, but sometimes you can't fight a battle that's an impossible battle to win. It wasn't even the cancer; it was she wound up getting this aspiration pneumonia. Yeah, I got rid of that person. She got this aspiration pneumonia, and it wasn't even okay. It was cancer related, of course, because she had the cancer, unfortunately, in the brain, and then went to the spinal cord, and it was unfortunate. But she had trouble chewing and swallowing. I think that's what caused the aspiration pneumonia. But she was fighting it for a month and a half in the hospital. The poor girl was on a ventilator. They put her on a feeding tube because she couldn't swallow for like over 30 days, like 30, 36 days. The most horrible thing I've ever witnessed in my whole life. Because I fed my wife every day like she was a queen. I know you don't know me, but if you know me, eating out is like, that's my most favorite thing in the world, going to restaurants. And I've been taking my wife to restaurants for 27 years and I known her. I always taking her to the most beautiful places she loved. And at the end, it was the most horrible thing that I couldn't feed her because they're like, oh, if she swallows something, she could aspirate. Thank you, Sarah. Um, Look, my wife is in paradise right now. I believe that. I believe that she's with her mother, Linda. She's happy. She's with our two Shih Tzus that passed away. My beautiful dog Rocky and Yogi, and she's playing with them, and she, she's uh she's happy. She's happy. My mother's with her father and her mother, my grandpa Joe, my grandma Anna. But I'm the one who's stuck here on Earth now. Now, look, I have two kids. Don't get me wrong. We have two beautiful kids. It's so sad because they're so young. Sophia's 11, Michael's only 14. It's a very, very sad situation because they need their mom. They need their grandma too. But the thing is that I don't know how to explain this to you. I'm suffering because I'm alone. Like, I don't know if you can hear this. There's no sound. Listen, I'm going to stop talking. Silence. My house was never silent. My house was never silent. I had my wife here. I had my mom here. Even the dogs don't really bark that much anymore. It's very sad. It's a very sad situation. I'm having a difficult time. I'm having a really difficult time. And then to make matters even more crazier, I was my wife's full time caretaker. I was my mother's full time caretaker. I made an income, through the insurance, and that was just the way we worked it out because my mom and my wife needed me, and she needed me to be home with her. She needed me to help her. She needed me to take care of the kids and her. And it became my full time job. And when my wife passed away, then my mom passed away. We lost $7,000 a month in income. Now I have this house with thousands and thousands of dollars in bills. I mean, look, I'm trying to figure out a way to recoup here, you know, and that's why I kindly and respectfully have this service, which is called the Thank You Song Service. I got to start promoting it in a very big way. Whereas I actually record a video for you, I call it the Thank You Song video, and I do a song like you just heard. I'll give you another one here. This is similar to like what the thank you song would be. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, just like a little example. So it's like an original jazz blues piece. I record a short video for you, giving you a big shout out on my channel. This once again is the Cash App. It's also the comment is also pinned below in this chat with this Shara Lane Hart. It's a $ Richard Lavoy, $ capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. No space, no underscore in between my first and my last name. This is my Cash App. For any amount, any small contribution, I will record a video called the Thank You Song video for you, celebrating your good deed, celebrating the life of my wife, Jennifer, and my mom, Josephine. And benefits my family. That's what it benefits. It benefits my kids, trying to get us back on track here. Looking for my phone here. Where did it go? There it is. So, life could be very hard. Life could be very, very hard. I don't know why life could be this hard. So moving forward, not only did I lose my wife, then I lost my mom, then I lost my monthly income. I mean, this is no big deal, but the other couple of days ago, my tire blew out on the car. I mean, I'm like, it's like when it rains, it pours, but who cares about that? I damaged the car, the fender a little bit. Everybody's okay. But I'm just like, my God, it's like Murphy's Law, right? Whatever could happen happens at once, right? When it rains, it pours. But the biggest thing is, I don't have a support system. My parents, I'm going to do a song. I had a tough childhood growing up. There was a lot of fighting between my mom and my dad, unfortunately. And my mother's family didn't like my father very much. And that kind of unfortunately rubbed off on me over the years. I was innocent. I didn't do anything. I was very close to my mother's family when I was a young kid. But it's just unfortunate the way it turned out. I mean, I still talk to them, but it's more or less on their convenience, like when they have time. And I'm not really getting a lot of support from them. This is my mom's family, my mother's sisters, brothers. And I really desperately could use the support, but I'm not getting it. Not getting the support. And on my wife's side, fortunately, it's not really much better. She didn't really talk with her family. Her brother, for some reason, just doesn't get along with anybody. We treated the brother like a king, but he's kind of has mental illness. Just really doesn't get along with nobody for no reason. Just one of those people. Just doesn't like people, I don't know why. During the coronavirus, he came to our house. We have a big swimming pool. We spent hundreds of dollars on a big barbecue for him. Kind of used us, I think, because everything was closed at the time. And then you never hear from the guy again. I mean, his own father has dementia. He's in a rehab. He doesn't visit his father. Strange dude, but unfortunately, we don't have a support system. So it's like, I never cared about having a support system. You know why? Because Jennifer, my wife, and my mom was my support system. And I was their support system. We were there for each other. I was there for Jennifer. I was there for my mom. My mom and Jennifer were there for me. And we were very happy. And then we had our kids, Mike and Sophia. And we had our dogs, Max and Chloe. Chloe's the puggle, Max is the Shih Tzu. And we were very, very happy, very content family. Nothing to complain about. We had each other. We were each other's rocks. But when my wife and mom passed away, everything changed. Now I suddenly became a single dad. I don't have a wife. I don't have a mom. My father passed away in 2020. I feel like I'm an orphan. I feel like I don't have anyone in the world that cares about me anymore. It's how does that happen? How do you go from having all this love in your life, all this love, all this support, to feel like you have nothing? It's not the greatest feeling. It's a pretty bad, rotten feeling. I don't wish it on anybody. But this is a rocking song. I sing on this one. It's called Middle of the Night. This is when I was a kid. Just kind of didn't want to be in that environment. There was a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting with my parents. I'm like, I want to get out of here. So I'm going to do a little quick version of it, not the whole song. Middle of the night. Late at night, full of doubt, thinking about how much I want out of this place. Never changes. It's my home, feeling like I am a stranger. Packed my bags and drove away in the middle of the night. Destination is unknown, but I'm better off alone. Tomorrow they'll try to make you come back home. Now I finally seen the light. Don't wanna run away in the middle of the night. Don't get me involved. Your life's a puzzle that I know I can't solve. You choose your misery. Always blame me for your problems constantly. Packed my bags and drove away in the middle of the night. Destination is unknown, but I'm better off alone. Tomorrow they'll try to make you come back home. Now I finally seen the light. Don't wanna run away in the middle of the night. Just a little quick version there, the middle of the night. You could hear the frustration there. Just didn't want to be there. Didn't want to deal with all that arguing and fighting. That was part of my childhood, unfortunately. Hey, maybe now we don't mind all the arguing and fighting right now. Just making a joke. It's so quiet in my house. No, I still didn't like that. It was a tough childhood, but when I met Jennifer, she took me away from all of that, my beautiful wife. She was my greatest support system. She loved me with so much love and so much support, so much emotion. My mom eventually, my parents got divorced, and my mom moved in with me, and I was there for my mom all these years. My mom actually moved in with us since we first got married. We first got married in 2005. So my mom has actually been living with us for 20 years. Believe it or not, she did go back to my father a few times, even though they were divorced. But ultimately, it didn't work out, and then she would come back home here. Um, but my mom and my wife has been in my life forever. It's like I don't know life without them. I don't know, and it's like I'm living a life. I don't know what I'm living anymore. I don't know. I don't know who I am. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on, because all I ever knew in my life was my wife and my mom. That's it. I was their support system. They were my support system. So now they're not here anymore, and everyone's telling me, well, you got to rebuild, Rich. You got to rebuild. How do you rebuild on something that was your whole support system? You're two rocks in your family. How do you rebuild that? How's that possible? People say, stay positive. How do you stay positive when your beautiful wife, who was always here for me, gave me all this love, all this affection, made me feel better whenever I had problems, now she's not here anymore? and I don't have anybody else. I feel like I keep saying to myself, like, God forbid an emergency. It's a scary thing. You say to yourself, God forbid something happens to me, like, who's going to take care of my kids? Who's going to be there for my children? Who could I trust? And you don't know anymore. It's like, it's a scary, scary feeling. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to be okay. But the problem is I'm not okay. I'm heartbroken. I mean, they're okay, my kids. I make sure they're happy. They're in school. They're doing well. They come home. They eat well. They hang out with their friends. They have a good time. I'm not really sleeping. Can't really sleep. It's just been a really tough time for me. It's been a very difficult time. I need a little peace and serenity. This is a song I wrote for my beautiful wife, Jennifer, classical piece, and my mother. Peace and serenity. It's peace and serenity. Classical piece. And like I said, anyone out there with a very good heart, please consider doing an entertainment tip on my Cash App. It's the pinned comment in this chat. You'll see it with Sarah Lanehart. It is the comment that is pinned. A very small Cash App. I would actually record a video for you called the Thank You Song video, where I play an original jazz piece. I write for you, celebrating your good deeds, celebrating my wife and my mother's life. My wife, Jennifer, and my mother, Josephine's life, who passed away this year. 2 weeks within each other. I'll do a little quick version of Josephine and Jennifer. This is a song I wrote for my mom and my wife. I'm just going to do a quick little version of it. This is Josephine for my mom. Josephine, you were there to guide me. You were there beside me. I can count on you. Josephine, you're the inspiration, and you are my best friend, now until the end. Years passed us by, and I realize how much I've learned from you. Mistakes I made, you showed me the way to make it all brand new. Josephine, you were there to guide me. You were there beside me. Jessica, I can count on you. Josephine, you're the inspiration, and you are my best friend, now until the end. Thank you, Jessica. This is a song I wrote for my wife. Just a quick version of it, Jennifer. I remember when I first looked in your eyes. It was destiny. We were both surprised. From this moment on, there was something very strong that we felt inside. Now my Jennifer has stars in her eyes when she looks at me. When we first kissed, I knew there was something about you that was meant for me, and I knew I love Jennifer. We spent all our time together every night. When we are apart, something is not right. You became a part of my heart and my soul. My life is finally whole. Now my Jennifer has stars in her eyes when she looks at me. When we first kissed, I knew there was something about you that was meant for me, and I knew I love Jennifer. Once again, that was a song I wrote for my wife, Jennifer. God bless her, honey. I love you forever. And the song I wrote for my mother, Josephine. God bless you, my mother. I will always love you forever. Anyone out there who would like to do a very small, I love you, Jessica, entertainment tip on my Cash App, that is the thank you song I do for you. So in other words, any amount of money that's contributed on my Cash App could be a couple of bucks, $5, $10. I will record a video on YouTube called the Thank You Song video. I love you, Jessica. I will record a song called the Thank You Song. In other words, it's an original jazz blues composition I write on the piano, and I dedicate it to your good deed. Okay, and I also dedicate it to celebrate the life of my wife and my mother, Josephine. My wife, Jennifer, and my mother, Josephine. So that is the Cash App. There's no space, no underscore in between my first and last name. It's the $ Richard Lavoie. Any small amount would be greatly appreciated. My wife passed away. My mom passed away. I'm just trying to be a great dad to my kids now. They need me. And And I'm trying to get back on my feet. I'm trying, like I said, I'm using my music talent here. I'm using my music talent. This is definitely something that's a beautiful service. It's not every day that you get a song, written and dedicated to you for doing a good deed. So that's a rare treat. Um, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. My wife met me in Brooklyn. My mother raised me in Brooklyn. Here's Brooklyn Funk, a little jazz song I wrote to give you an idea of the thank you song. Do that again. Thank you, Jessica. No, no problem, Jessica. Yes, I'm not. Jessica is the most beautiful person in the world. She means only well. Yeah, I'm not a charity, so it's not a donation. It would be considered an entertainment tip on my Cash App. So, in other words, the Cash App, which is the comment that's pinned below. Also, I'll just show it to you. That's the Cash App right there. The $ Richard Lavoie. If you would contribute a very small entertainment tip, could be $5, $10, I will record a video for you. And it's called the Thank You Song Video, where I play an original song I write for you dedicated to your good deed. Okay, it's an original jazz, blues, instrumental piano piece. And also to celebrate the life of my beautiful wife, Jennifer, and my mom, Josephine. Jessica, I'm not really having the greatest day today. I'm going to be honest. It's starting to hit me, all this stuff. It's really, really hitting me, Jessica. It's hitting me. Definitely got to give you a call soon. I know you're always here for me. I love you. I don't know. It's becoming like it's becoming very hard to deal with. It's becoming overwhelming, to be alone every day. Like I said, I was with my wife and my mom every day. Every day. Whenever I was going through a tough time, I could always count on my wife. My wife's always here. I could say, Jen, I'm not feeling well. I'm going through a lot of stress. She would come upstairs and she would just love me up. I miss it so much. You have no idea how much I miss all that love and affection and support. And you go from having that to feel like you got nothing. It is sad. How do you go on from that? How do you go on from having okay, Jessica, no problem. I love you, Jessica. Um, how do you go on from that? Like, how do you go on from having all this love, all this support, and then having nothing? And then people say to you, "Oh, you got to be positive," and people say, "You got to toughen up. You got to man up." I love you, Jessica. People say, "You got to man up," and I'm like, "Man up." I'm still keeping everything going here. My kids are in school. They're happy. I'm taking care of my kids. They're eating. They're happy. They're coming home. They're seeing their friends. I'm just here. Come on, guys. Just listen. Jessica's a beautiful person. Just leave her be. Leave her be, man. Everybody's got problems, which is going to lead me to my next song, right? We all got problems, unfortunately, but I always believe that every problem has a solution. I always believe that. But unfortunately, there's a certain problem you can't fix, which is when someone passes away. I'm a fixer in life. I fix everything in my life. When there's a problem, I fix it. I don't care how big it is. It could be the biggest problem in the world. I'll find a way to fix it. I can't fix this one. I can't fix that my wife passed away. I can't fix that my mom passed away. I can't fix it. You have to accept it. And I'm not used to that because I'm a fixer. I'm not used to that. And it's been breaking my heart in levels that no one understands. Anyway, this is Everybody's Got Problems, an original song I wrote. I was thinking about Michael Jackson when I wrote this, like a Billie Jean vibe. When your love ends before your eyes, everybody's got problems. Losing your job, kissing it goodbye. Everybody's got problems you can't hide. You can't hide. Life could be true or bad. It's easy to just give up. Don't get knocked down. You gotta get mad. Fight back and be the one standing up. When your love ends before your eyes. Thank you, just here. Everybody's got problems. Losing your job, kissing it goodbye. Everybody's got problems you can't hide. You can't hide. I know you're hurting and you don't believe tomorrow will be a better day. It's up to you. You gotta believe you have the power to make all your troubles go away. When your love ends before your eyes, everybody's got problems. Losing your job, kissing it goodbye. Everybody's got problems you can't hide. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, JD. Thank you, Just Here. Like I said, God bless all of you. If anyone has the good heart to do a very small cash app, which is considered an entertainment tip, it's like my piano bar jar. This is my cash app. It is the $ Richard Lavoie. I actually do a video, a tribute video for anyone who has the good heart to do a cash app. It could be any amount. Okay, if it's $5, $10, doesn't matter. $ Richard Lavoie, capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. The comment is also pinned in this discussion. You can see it. It's pinned in the chat on the bottom of the screen. Sarah Leinhart. Once again, just dealing with an extremely tough time in my family. If you have not heard, this is the hardest year of my life. This is the hardest year of my family's life. Thank you. I'm just here. My wife, Jennifer, the love of my life, my soulmate, she passed away. I still can't believe all of this is real. I just want all of you to know that I'm still living in kind of like a denial here. I'm like, this can't be happening. This can't be real. How is this real? How did I lose my wife, who's only 46 years old, the mother of our 2 children? How is that possible? It just doesn't seem possible. And I mean, I could go back and forth with so many different things, but I guess what's the point of doing that, right? What's the point? The doctors could have did better. They could have treated her cancer. They felt it spread too far. Michael is 14, Sophia is 11. Look, the regulator, I don't want to be bothered right now, man. So I just can't deal with the hate, man. I'm sorry. You're going to start with the hate. No, everything is original music. Everything's original music. So let's just get rid of the regulator. I can't deal with this guy. When you say sheesh, good luck, you think that's the best thing to say to someone, man, who just lost his wife, who just lost his mom? That's not really the nicest comment, Lev. You know what I mean? I understand maybe you mean it in a way where you're like, no, I understand you probably mean it in a good way, but not really to look. I feel you because I feel that frustration that you're trying to express. I didn't want to be a single dad. I didn't want to be alone in life. Okay, I didn't want to be without my wife. I didn't want to be without my mom. So why I'm very angry right now, and I don't know who to blame. I'm like, God, why did you do this to me for? Why did you take away everything? I feel like you took away everything out of my life. He expects me to be strong. He expects me. I am doing it because I have to. But it's like I'm living this miserable life now. I'm living this life where I'm in misery. I'm suffering. I'm in pain. I'm in so much suffering and pain, but I have to be strong for my kids. They need me. I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to tell them I can't help you? So what's going to happen to them? No, it's okay, Jessica. I know. Lev, it's okay. I know you didn't mean it that way. Don't worry about it. You were expressing frustration. I have the same frustration that you feel. I get it. I get it, man. It's just that, I wish none of this happened. But I guess wishing isn't going to do much, right? I keep saying to myself, this can't be real. I keep saying to myself, my wife's coming home soon because I'm so used to her being in the hospital, She'll be in the hospital for like 2 weeks. She'll be in the hospital for a month. She'll get her treatments. And she always recovered. She always came home and she always was better. This is the first time that's not the case. And like I said, it's one thing. That's right, Jessica. I wish that your husband came back too, Jessica. I wish there was a way. I wish there was some kind of a way, any way, to get your beautiful husband back in your life and to get my beautiful wife and my mom back. But I don't think there is a way. I don't know, maybe the afterlife, I don't know, who knows? Who knows? You know what it is? I just wish that I just wish she had a little longer. That's all. 46 was too young. 46. Look, my mom, look, see, I'm an acceptance of my mom. I am. People don't realize, like, look, my mom was 75. My mom saw me grow up. My mom saw her grandchildren grow up. And, I get it, She lived, I mean, she was still very young, my mom. She could have made it. Her mom was 97. Listen, she was still very young, but she at least saw me grow up, and she saw my kids grow up, her grandkids. Thank you. I'm just here. But like I said, anybody out there who could do a very small cash app, you have no idea how much it would be appreciated. I do a beautiful service. It's called the Thank You Song Service. I'm trying to promote this service. Everybody out there, share this service if you could. It's a service where a very small contribution on my Cash App, which is this right here, the $ Richard Lavoie, no space, no underscore in between my first and last name, the $ RICHARD, capital LEVOI. I will record a video on YouTube for you, a short video called the Thank You Song, where I actually write a beautiful jazz blues piano piece for you, celebrating your good deed, and also celebrating the life of my wife and my beautiful mother. Yes, Leggy, but unfortunately, I am going to be doing that. I just can't do it right now. It's a really simple concept, okay? The more and more contributions that I get, eventually, here's what's going to happen, Leggy. I'll be able to pay all my bills. I'll be able to support my family. And eventually, I'll go over the top, like Sylvester Stallone. Well, it's something I want to do in addition to helping my family. I'm just here. So, in addition to helping my family, I want to use a portion of the money I make from Cash Apps. I want to use a portion of that when I do well enough. That's the thing people don't understand. I try to explain this to people, but they just don't get it. Like, in other words, all right, so what's step one? Step one is I lost my wife, I lost my mom, and unfortunately, I lost a household income of $7,000 a month because I was their caretaker. So, step one is to recover that money, support my family, and then after that, a portion of my profits will be going to having dinners, which I'm going to pay for. It's going to be completely on the house, which I use my entertainment tips to do, to pay for other families to have dinners, that lost their loved ones. I would like to share stories with them. I would like to create like a network of people that could kind of all be there for each other. And the reason I want to do that is because I don't have a support system myself. But it's something, right now I'm just working in YouTube, Lev. That's my job right now. That's it right now. Look, all of this, you have to understand again, people don't understand. Prior to this, we had a set income. I had an income coming in. I was my wife's caretaker. Do you follow me? I was my mother's caretaker. So we were doing okay as a family. You follow me? We were doing fine. We were all doing fine. But life struck us, with a thunderbolt, okay? And now, unfortunately, I lost that $7,000 a month. So prior to this, I was a caretaker for my wife and my mom. When I first got married, I was in sales for a very long time. I was a salesman. I was real estate sales. I worked in timeshares. I did everything, all types of sales. That was a long time ago. I don't know if I have the head for it right now to get back into sales. Eventually, I might. But you have to understand, nobody understands. Everybody keeps saying this to me. Go get a job. Go get a job. People say, like, I'm just trying to stay mentally sound. Right now, I'm trying to keep my head on straight because I had such loss in my life. People don't understand the loss that I've had and my children had. They just don't get how severe the loss is. People think you could just get up after this happens, right? Just go work a full-time job. And I know you understand it, Jessica. I'm lucky, like, I'll give you an example. I'm lucky if I can even drive a few blocks. I get messed up, man. It's not that easy, Leggy. Leggy, like I don't feel like arguing about this. In order to get okay, how do you get to a job? You need to like commute to a job, correct? Leggy, would you agree? I can't. I can barely, Leggy. I'm not trying to scare you, but I don't know if you care or not. I barely. No, but I'm just saying. But to a certain degree, he has a point. If you're around people and you're out there and you're working, it could potentially distract you. But here's what Leggy doesn't understand. You have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right mindset to do it. How am I going to do it when, like, see, this is different right now. I'm home. This is what people don't understand. I'm able to make videos at home. I'm able to do live streams at home. But for me to go out in public and get in my car and drive somewhere, I'm very, very shaken up right now. I'm just saying I'm very shaken up. Jessica understood. Jessica went through what I went through. She lost a dear husband. God bless your husband. So Jessica understands. She said she never did. She couldn't. Yeah, the hurt is too severe. People don't understand. So again, AI science guy. I don't want to fight with you. My children are entitled certain money through Social Security, which I will be getting. Okay. I'm also I was my wife's caretaker. I'm trying to get unemployment. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm trying to get that. I gotta get everything together for that. I'm applying for that. Well, no, but I mean it's valid questions. I mean, listen, it's valid questions, and you know I am taking every precaution to make money, but I'm trying to also make money through YouTube. That's really the goal: is to eventually become a successful YouTuber. But in the interim, I don't sleep. I don't sleep. But in the interim, Social Security, the kids will be entitled to that up until 18, and other things. We're looking into every option. When people go through loss like this that I went through and that Jessica went through, we need help. Lev, it's not true. I get support, man. It's not true. There are people who care. Like I'll give you an example. There's someone right now in this live stream who cares. Jessica, me, myself, and I. There are people who care. You gotta find them, Lev, but there are people who care. But anyway, I'm gonna be back in a little bit. It's around 65 minutes, the live stream. So I'm trying not to do too long of live streams, but I love you, Jessica. I'm gonna give you a call a little bit. I know you got a doctor's appointment soon, but have a wonderful one. Thank you, Jessica, for caring. I care about you too. Have a wonderful day. I will be back. And remember, if anybody would like to do a small cash app, it is the $ Richard Lavoy. This is the comment that's pinned below. Yeah, we met on YouTube, yes. I love you, Jessica. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be back soon.